Hello, lovely listeners, and good morning, Kim.
Good morning, Joe. Good morning, everyone. Ah, We had some divine timing coming in today with our messages.
I
That is the message. It's literally, Jill, you called it hugs from the universe.
did. It's like that came up when I was describing to Kim. I think it was Saturday. I kind of had a lot of little things to do, and I just didn't know how I was gonna, order them and fit them in. And I just like very lightly just thought, okay, I'd like to get this done and this and just whatever. And all of a sudden, and then in your mind too, you're like, well, that thing's gonna take 45 minutes or whatever the timing is. And all of a sudden I found one of those things was just getting done. It just fit right in. There was no thinking, planning. It was just like I felt very called to just do that thing. And it was like 3 minutes later, it's done.
Yes.
And that's what I called a hug from the universe.
Over this weekend, I recognized, along with a lot of other people, it's like if one thing just happens to you, it's like, okay, that's cool. But when you start hearing it from multiple people, similar experiences, that's when you know, like, okay, this was more universal. So there was definitely, I'm so used to calling it a timeline shift, but I don't like using that terminology, but it's basically people were aligning with their divine timing. Like things were happening right for them that just like timing was either standing still or timing was just like perfect timing. Like just like, wow, I have time for this. Like, what? I got here this fast, even though I drove the same speed. Like everything just like boom, 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 boom.
Yeah, like logically, you were sharing a story about a drive time, and logically, it didn't make sense. The time you left and the time you arrived and the distance, and this is a route you know well. So you didn't have to think that through. You just knew when you arrived about what time you should be there. And it was totally way shorter.
Wait. Yep.
Right? And you're like, what?
And that was just a sign that, okay, yeah, I was kind of hesitant to be at this event. It's not a normal event that I would go to, but I thought, hey, what the heck? It looked kind of fun. And as you know, I'm all about fun lately, and experiences. So I thought I'd go. And I let go earlier in the day, I kind of let go of the hesitancy, if you want to put it that way. I let go of the insecurities that I might have felt, like not knowing people. And I was just like, you know what? I'm fine with it. I'm fine with whatever happens. And lo and behold, look at how fast we got there. And that's what happens when you just kind of let go and you're like, okay, I'm just going to trust. I'm trusting to be where I need to be at when I need to be there.
I think actually, I love that, Kim, the word trust. Like letting go is kind of weird. It's like we don't really understand. We say let go, but it's like, how do you really let go? I mean, I understand you let something be, really, but you trust that it's going to work out. That's let it be.
Yeah.
And trust. But would you, a lot of this and how timing has been going over the weekend, probably how it's going to go now, some sort of timeline shift. Perhaps not everyone has experienced that. Perhaps some people have experienced kind of the opposite. I'm wondering, Kim, if you might like to share a vision you saw when you tapped in.
Oh, yeah. I did see a big, clear wall. There's a movie. Wow. There's a movie trailer of this big, clear wall that goes like up into the sky, and like you can see through it, but you can't hear through it. Like people are screaming on one side and they can't get through. I don't know what movie that's from or anything like that. I think I've seen it on like quickly advertised on some social media, okay, a while ago. But I've never watched the actual movie. But that came up very similar where it was like some people that were driving down to the cities, they didn't make it to the cities. Things were happening, and so they're wondering why. So I tapped in, and I seen this huge, clear glass, basically wall. And you could see everything there. You could see everything through it and everything like that. But what was happening on one side was more chaos. And it was more congestion. It was more like people not in their right, aligning with their higher self, basically. It was chaos over there. And then you had the other side, where people were they're the ones who wanted to be aligned with their higher self. They're the ones that were doing things for the betterment of good, if you want to call it that. And these people literally got stopped before they got to that wall, per se. And there were multiple accidents on Friday, and that was part of it. Like, they had to get pulled off the road. And that's what I got, was people that were literally pushed into a different direction. It's not because of chaos. Well, it is because of chaos, but it was because they were totally aligned with their higher self. And their higher self was like, hey, we're going to just bring you over here because we want you to be safe. You don't need to be in that chaos. We're going to involve you.
Right? The great thing about that example is that they pulled off the freeway.
Yeah.
They followed what they were prompted to do. If you push through, you can probably end up in the chaos. But they actually followed. That's the trust. They got, the hit, if you will. Nope, this isn't going to work. They pulled off the road. They found another opportunity. They did something, and they played with it. They played with the experience. We talk about that so much, playing with it, being curious about it. Fill yourself with wonder about it. Use whatever words you would like. But, they did that rather than bitch and complain, and this didn't work, and we have to be there, and this didn't work out. And, so it's like there's a lot of choice involved in this time play.
Yes. Ooh. Ooh, oh my God.
So
yeah. I feel like if you sit back and kind of look this past weekend, what happened that the timing, either you started something and it went super fast, or you got to some place that either took maybe longer also, or you got steered on a completely different path. Those were all things that were aligning, that were meant to align for you. They're not meant to cause chaos or like anger, fear, frustration. They were literally meant for something positive.
Yep. There's a lot of guidance that's like, I want to use the word palpable. It's like, it's energy around us. Time, is energy, if you will, around us. It's not something we hold. These are things that are like invisible, but they're palpable because you can really feel it. If you're pushing through something that is not like what you're supposed to be doing timing-wise, it'll feel very chaotic. It'll feel very, like your head might feel like it's spinning, or it'll be like, oh, so frustrating, and not frustrating, like frustrating, like really irritating, frustrating. It's kind of hard to put into words, but I'm trying here. But that's what I mean by palpable. Like, tune into what the energy and the experience in you is like. And it's not that you won't have some challenging things, but the challenging things that come up will be intriguing and enticing. When they just make you want to sit down and go, God, this sucks, then you're engaging the chaos, to say, if you will.
Yeah.
And it's kind of a busy time of year, so there might be a lot of like, oh, this sucks.
Yeah.
In terms of time, because there's so much pull on people's time right now. Push and pull of time. Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
Well, thank you, Jill. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Kim. Yep, my throat's all...
Yeah.
Play with the push and pull of time today. Thanks, everyone. Thank you, Kim. Until next time.